Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 Netflix horror film Velvet Buzzsaw, a film that is directed by Dan Gilroy, who directed Nightcrawler, and it stars, and it's got a great cast. We have Jake Gyllenhaal, we have Rene Russo, we have Zoe Ashton, Toni Collette, John Malkovich, Billy Magnussen, and a few other people you recognise in this film as well. Now, this is an incredibly original horror film that tells a story that you've probably, I promise, never really seen before, certainly in the horror genre. And it focuses on, we have Zoe Ashton's character, Josephina, who works for a prestigious art dealer. Rene Russo's character, Rodora. And she's not in favour. She's trying to make a name in the art world, and in her apartment building she finds a dead body, and this dead body turns out to be an artist, a very, very talented artist that no one has ever heard of, and his flat is littered with all this incredible art he's done throughout his life. But this artist has left strict instructions on his death that every single piece of that artwork is to be destroyed. Well, Josephina is a bit light-fingered and helps herself to pretty much all of it, even though no one seems to question where it's all gone, but we'll forget about that bit. And starts showing it to all her art friends, including Jake Gyllenhaal's character, Morph, who is an art critic, a renowned art critic who can make or break an art exhibition. Is that well known in the art world. And of course Rodora, Rene Russo's character, and they are all absolutely captivated with this art. They've never seen anything like it, and it's the best thing they've ever seen, and they immediately get to work cataloguing it, exhibiting it, selling it, all that kind of stuff. But what they don't realise is that there is a strange kind of curse, a supernatural force connected to this art, and anyone who disrespects the art or puts greed before art, all this kind of stuff, is put at direct risk, and this supernatural force then targets them. That is the gist of this story. Now, what did I think of Velvet Buzzsaw? Well, incredibly original film. I have to say that again. I've never seen anything like it, but it kind of just misses the mark for me, this film. It's got incredible performances in it. Everybody is great in this film. Jake Gyllenhaal, Rene Russo, Zoe Ashton, Toni Collette, they're all really good. But the problem with this film is there is nobody to like. They are all pretentious arseholes basically in this film. All of them. You kind of will want to see all of them get the comeuppance, because they're awful people, generally speaking. They're greedy, they're pretentious, and there's not really much to like about any of them, which is a problem for a film like this, I feel, because you've nobody to root for. You're kind of waiting for them all to get knocked off, kind of. I was anyway. I thought it was quite self-aware, this film, and I've read that the director, what he wanted people to take from this film was maybe to have to look at art in a slightly different way, and I get that. That kind of works. My feelings about art are it can be very, very pretentious, and there's a scene in this movie that is very, very how I kind of feel about art. There's like an art dealer manager turns up to John Malkovich's studio. John Malkovich is a renowned artist, and he's blowing smoke up John Malkovich's arse because he wants to represent him, and he's going, "Oh, this is lovely, this is your workspace." And he walks into this studio, and there's some trash on the floor in black bags, and he bends down, looks at it, and he's like, "Oh, this is captivating, this is wonderful." And John Malkovich kind of looks at him and says, "That's not art, that's just trash." And that, for me, is how I feel about art. If a renowned artist polished a turd and put his name on it, the art world would fall over themselves for it. That's kind of how I feel about art, and this film gets that message across. It kind of says, yeah, we know it can be a bit pretentious, so this is our answer to the art world. So I get that, I really do. There are a couple of reasonably brutal death scenes in the film, but for a horror film it's nowhere near horrific enough, and it is nowhere near frightening enough. It doesn't build tension at all well, this film. The director, I don't think, really has got a particularly good eye for horror, or a talent for delivering a good horror film. He's got a real talent for delivering a stylishly looking film, and is a good director to pull great performances out of very good actors, and that's exactly what he does with this film. But it ain't scary, unfortunately, for a horror film. It just isn't. A bit shocking once or twice with a couple of the death scenes, but I don't remember watching the film feeling particularly tense or frightened at all. So it's a bit of an odd one, this, because I suspect, a bit like the film Mandy that came out last year, there's a few people might watch this, and I really enjoyed Mandy, don't get me wrong, I might watch this and say, oh, it's bloody marvellous, this film, it's artistically spot on and all this twaddle. Well, as a horror film it fails, unfortunately, because it ain't horrific and it's not scary. As an original film that's trying to do something different, it succeeds. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a superbly well made film, a superbly acted film, a clever idea, an original idea, but unfortunately it don't deliver what it's supposed to deliver if it's supposed to be a horror film. So that's my review for Velvet Buzzsaw, guys. It's a very interesting film and certainly one worth checking out. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.